Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He is Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana, not we love him in Japan. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest today is a man who recently graduated the Nightmare Factory, the same training facility that's ran by QT Marshall and Cody Rhodes. Here we have with us today Class 2 graduate and a man who's going to do big things in the professional wrestling world. He already has the look. Man, I tell you, I'm actually kind of jealous. I wish I could grow my hair out like that. But hey, one could dream. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the show Mr. Charly Avell. Charlie, how you doing today, man?
Thank you. Thank you for the intro. I appreciate it, man. I'm doing great. Just got back from doing a morning workout. Had a great breakfast, so now I'm ready to do the podcast for the show you guys going on. So let's do it.
Nothing like a good workout, man. I just got done doing some cardio myself, man. I feel like a new man. Who knows? Maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll train to be a professional wrestler myself. I don't know. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Do it. It's fun, man.
That time is. Look, man. I'm about to be 38 next month, so I think that ship has sailed, man. Maybe a manager or something, but yeah.
Hey, man, there was people in their ages, late 30s, early 40s in the camp. I'll tell you that, and they did it. But hey, up to you, man. If your body can still do it, chase it. Chase that dream.
Yeah. I gotta say, thank you for actually, being on our show. Thank you. We saw the recent graduates from the Nightmare Factory. And we were like, something, we want to see what these future superstars, have to say, what their plans are and so on. We've had Diamond Sheik on. And by the way, Diamond Sheik, if you're actually listening to this, we're very proud of you. We're very happy for you. We look forward to having you on next week. For those of you that haven't been following us, Diamond Sheik was actually our alumni 15 Minutes of Fandom guest. If you still know who he is, well, look at the past AEW episodes and you'll see his brother, Scooby-Doo, who was dressed in the Scooby-Doo getup. That's his brother. Scooby. So, yes, Scooby's brother is actually, going to do big things now, and I see it as well, too. But, Charlie, we're here to talk about you, man. And I got my first questions I got to ask, and I always ask everybody because everybody has a different answer. What was the wrestling event or pay-per-view, or what led to you becoming a fan of professional wrestling?
So, I mean, it started back in like 2006. One of my friends recommended me watching WWE. That was the week. It was like it was a month after we started my fourth grade. And he's like, "Hey, man, you watch wrestling or anything like that?" I'm like, "Don't know what it is. I didn't really follow it." But he's like, I felt like it was a way to like get to know him, and then another thing to introduce me in my life. And he's like, "You should watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown." I'm like, at first it was introduced to Raw, so I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. And the people or the stars at that time that were rising was like John Cena and Edge, and there was Triple H, Undertaker. But what caught my eye was John Cena and Edge rivalry. And I was like, well, this looks interesting. And I think recently they just got done with the Unforgiven pay-per-view, so they did like a TLC match. So as I watched Raw, I was just like, what caught my attention was the storylines and just the wrestling as well. But like, I'm more into the storylines. I like to see what's going on, like the drama and all that. So ever since then, I was like captured by it, and I've been following wrestling for like what's like already been over a decade now, and I still follow it through social media and all that. But like, I was like, I feel like I could give this a shot if the opportunity's there. And I'm from Oregon, and there's there were some opportunities, but I had to be older and further on. But watching John Cena and the Edge rivalry is what caught my attention, and I was like, "Yep, this caught my attention. I'm ready to watch this, and let's see what happens the next week." And it was just a continuous storyline, and they kept it going. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So it's not like certain episodes, like oh, they just do it for one episode and they change the story the next week or something like that. So that's what caught my attention. So there's that.
Wow, that's cool. You actually started watching at a pretty good time, because I remembered that was the I think that was the tail end. You said '06. That was like the tail end of the Ruthless Aggression era, where it wasn't like the because I consider now like the most athletic era of professional wrestling, but I think at that time it was like just brutal. Like every match was like every time there was a main event, you always saw blood, and I was like, Rob, you noticed that too as well, right?
Oh yeah, there's always blood.
Yeah,
yeah, there was always like blood all the time, you know. And I was like, why does it always? I mean, I kind of like it, but I don't like it because like, why does every wrestling match have to have blood? Like, what's going on here, man? Like, why? But I mean, I guess that was, you know, the times. Luckily, it's no longer a thing. But yeah, that was a pretty good time to watch wrestling. That was when I was in my DX wannabe phase. Like me and my you know, they say a man goes through a second childhood. I'd like to say that was my second childhood. I was like in my early 20s at the time, and me and my friend would just go around. You know, we'd have the DX shirt on and the shirts on, and we'd like be going suck at the people, and then we'd have some sort of like Attitude Era-esque jokes. Yeah. I remember one time we'd have he and I had a saying where we make up our own thing. We'd have a saying where we see somebody with something new or a car, and I'd be like, "Hey you," and he'd be like, "Yeah, you with the white car," and then we both be like, "F you and your white car," and stuff like that. It's humor like that we built off of like DX and Chris Jericho and all that stuff. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting time too, man. Bringing back memories. But so of course now you're actually cheering for your favorites and booing the bad guys. What led to you deciding, hey, you know something? I want to be more than a fan. I want to be an in-ring performer. What led to you like joining the Nightmare Factory, and how did your training go?
So I do have previous experience in the ring before I got into the Nightmare Factory. I think it was around high school. When I was in high school, or maybe late middle school, but like early in my high school days, I'm like, yeah, I want to actually give this a shot. And I had to do my research though, because there's not many options here in the state of Oregon. And there was one that was available that was willing to take in students. So they went by WCWC. They were like in the Salem, the capital of Oregon. And I had to be 18 and older to be able. So I was like, I didn't. I was still in high school, and the way I had to get like a parent guardian signature. So I decided to wait a couple years after I graduated high school and went to college. And I finally had a car. What you really need, one of the things is transportation. So I finally got a car, and I was like, all right, now I can make the drive, go to the training sections. I talked to one of the trainers down there, or messaged them through Facebook, and they're like, yeah, we're willing to take you in. Just get the typical gear, get the kick pads and your wrestling shoes, wear some athletic clothing, and then let's get into the ring. So I have a couple of years here in Oregon, did wrestling here for like 1 or 2 years, 3 years, hitting 3 years of training. And then going down to Georgia though, for the Nightmare Factory, there was an opportunity that was open for me to have a couple of roommates that lived down there, and I managed to room in with them, and I got in contact to the coaches, the people in the office, and I was chosen as one of the 25, I believe it was, students to participate in the Nightmare Factory Class 2, because there was a lot, from what I heard, there was a lot of applications flowing in, so I was one of the lucky few to actually participate in the recent class, and I had a great time. It was fun. So
awesome. So what was the training? What was the training like over there? Like, was it like how did your day of training? How did a typical day of training go for you there?
So when I started, it was like early in January. So a day of training was we go in the ring first. We get in ring training first. With usually the coaches that are usually there would be Coach Ray, also known as Glacier, QT Montreal. Cody would be there too. And then there was another coach that went by Luke, Coach Luke. He would be there. I feel like I might be missing more, but usually there's other coaches out there too, and they would teach us. For this class would be the beginning, like the early fundamentals, doing the rolls, bumping for the first few weeks, and then later on we'd get into doing furthermore, and then matches later at the end. And then after in-ring training, usually it's like maybe 2 hours, I believe. We do strength and conditioning, where we go with another coach. He's not involved in the in-ring. He's more involved with the doing the workouts in the weight room or on the field that they had inside. He's go by Coach Ian. He he trained, like, from what I heard was he did like train professional athletes like NBA, NFL players and such. And we do like some of the similar workouts like they did that he did for them. And we'd be with him for like 2 hours or 2 hours and 30 minutes. And that's how our day would end. And just in a day of training over there at the Nightmare Factory. I don't know how it is now for the third class, but that's how it was for, at least in my experience. That was our day of training there. So it was like 4 hours or 5 hours just being there.
Nice. Awesome. So, when you recently graduated, what was your mindset? Like, what feelings were running through you to know that you did it? Now you're officially a wrestler. I mean, I know you had previous experience before, but like, you graduated from one of the like now top wrestling schools, in the country. Like, what was running through your mind? What hearing that, congratulations, you're not officially a professional wrestler. Your Nightmare, I guess, for lack of a better term, Nightmare Factory approved.
So I felt like more confident and more ready to go out there and take more bookings. Like, before going in there, I wasn't like feeling very confident and comfortable. Like, I could do a match. I mean, I was at a good drive before the pandemic hit, but after the pandemic hit, I was just like, I don't know if I could do this again. But I went and took the chance to go down to the Nightmare Factory, and then throughout those weeks, I started to like get a better understanding of how to improve myself in the ring and out of the ring. And then by the end of it and graduating, I just felt like, I never lost it. It was just 1 year off because of the pandemic, but I never lost it, and I felt like I could do more, and I'm ready to go out and not just be wrestling in Oregon, but I feel like I could go to like California, Washington, or even go back to Georgia and do work for other promotions. Like, I feel more confident in the ring to work with other professional wrestlers, and I feel like I could put like some good matches with anybody. It's just I just got to keep doing the work in the ring and out of the ring and keeping myself in good shape and form.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. That's a good plan. I gotta say though, you're already at an advantage over most wrestlers because you already, you've wrestled on the West Coast, but now you've trained in Georgia, and I'm pretty sure you've had a couple of matches in Georgia, so now you know how the East Coast is. Because I've been fortunate to watch wrestling in California, and I've been very fortunate to watch wrestling in places like New York and Florida and New Jersey, and there is a bit of a difference. Not too much, but you could definitely tell there's a bit of difference between both. So you're already at an advantage there as well. Hopefully I see you in the WCWC. I used to watch them. I don't think they're running shows right now due to the pandemic, but I used to watch them like a couple of years ago. I got familiar with people like Hammerstone and is it Mikey O'Shea's his name? Mikey O'Shea, Matt. What was the teacher's name? Rob, what was that teacher's name? The one that Matt Stryker. Yeah, he was the champion there at one point. So I'm familiar with a couple of places, and even more so, I'm a bit of a foodie. So y'all got some restaurants I want to check out, like Voodoo Donut. I tell you, when I hit was it PDX? I think PDX is the name of y'all's airport. When I
Yeah,
touch when I touch ground, that's one of the first places I'm going to, and I want the most outlandish donut they have because I want to see. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and people tell me, Portland is a city of weird. And I've been to places like Greenwich Village, and I've seen some things in Manhattan. So I want to go to Portland just to see how weird it is. You know what I'm saying?
oh man, it gets weird if you go down to deep downtown Portland. It's something. I mean, I don't go there a lot, but like the times that I've been through there, going down to go watch shows or basketball games down at the Moda Center and just passing through the streets, there's always something there. Even throughout the whole day, there's always something going on there. And there's good things and then there's bad things. But you'll be entertained just walking around the streets, and you'll see there's a lot going on down there.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list of places I want to check out. So, my next question is, now that you're ready to take on the world and whatnot, one of your trainers, Cody Rhodes, several years ago when he left WWE, he posted a list of wrestlers he'd like to face in the near future, and of course, subsequently, other wrestlers started doing the same thing as well. So, my next question is, who are the top 5 wrestlers on your list that you'd want to face in the near future? It could be from anywhere: independence, WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan.
Yeah, I know number 1 will always be Chris Jericho if he's still wrestling.
So that'd be a good match.
Number 2 would be actually Alexander Hammerstone, or Hammerstone as he goes by. Always wanted to. He's had wrestled up here in Oregon, so I'm like, I feel like there's that opportunity. Don't know if he's still, since he's with MLW, don't know if he's still allowed to go around, but Hammerstone would be number 2. Number 3 would actually be QT Marshall. Number 3, that's number 3. Dude is like amazing in the ring. Like even when our being a trainer, just watching him in there, he could work with anybody. He will make you look good. I know that. Number 4. I haven't gotten that far, like doing like a top 5. Let me see. Number 4, who could that be? I don't actually have a top 5. I haven't thought about much to it, but I have more like a top 3-ish.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd be down to actually wrestle like a Finn Balor. Let's add him to the list. Finn Balor. Finn Balor would be. And I actually met him at a WWE experience, and he's super
nice
guy. So I'd be down to wrestle him. Maybe 5 would be Seth Rollins. I think Rollins would be like one of those 2 guys just to add on there. He's another very athletic wrestler that I've been watching since his NXT days and through WWE. He was just very prominent. Just watching his work, just like I feel like there's a chance if I get the opportunity to be successful and get up there, I feel like I can put on a good match with him.
So I noticed that you actually wrestle in face paint as well. You actually, I could see it now. You and Finn Balor, you and your face paint, Finn Balor and Demon getup. That would be a pretty interesting sight to see.
Oh no, yeah, I'd actually, if that opportunity ever shows up, I'd actually deck it out like him. It would just be like a one-time special event, like pay-per-view or something like that. Yeah, no, I'd definitely be down to do that. I mean, I drew some inspiration from his face paint stuff as well when it comes to the body part, at least, because I've done it. I think I've done it only in one show, but I don't have pictures of it.
So is there any? So Finn Balor calls his when he's in makeup, he calls himself the Demon, and there have been many others that have actually called themselves. They've gone by obviously various aliases and monikers. Like you got Demolition, it was Axe Smash and Crush. You got the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, Ultimate Warrior. So is there a name for when Charly Avell dons the face paint and goes to the ring? Is there any particular name you channel or any entity that you channel while in the face paint?
I know I channel like a psychotic want to say like creepy, but like a loner type solo wolf. Like I just like to do my own thing. I don't have a plan. I don't have a name for it yet at the moment, but I'm more of just like I like to brawl when that face paint is on. I'm not holding back. I'm going after you. You give me pain, I'll enjoy it, and I will come at you with even further. And just like you can't take me down. You might try, but you won't be able to.
Awesome. Cool. Well, my last question before I turn it over to Rob, 'cause I know Rob is itching to ask you a bunch of like, DC and Marvel and Star Wars questions and whatnot. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he gets excited on that stuff. But my last question is, in regards to professional wrestling, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I feel like I will for sure like be working shows around here in Oregon and hopefully further expose myself to like going to the East Coast again and like down south up in Florida, Georgia, even Texas if it's possible. But I feel like if all goes well, I feel I might go back to the Nightmare Factory and do further training, and who knows, maybe I get a match at Dark or something like that. I'm just have to keep putting the work and putting myself out there. But I don't know, the future is very unpredictable. I'm just going to go with the flow and see how things go well. Right now, I feel like I got a good momentum going on. But I'm hoping by the time I manage to make this a living instead of just having it currently on the side. But I'm hoping that I can make it a career here soon.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Rob because I know that. Well, first of all, I hope you really and truly do get to achieve all your goals and more. I like seeing that as well. And we've had guests on here that have actually gone on to do better things. Gotten signed to WWE, gotten signed to AEW, and I like to see that. And one of our things here is that I've told Rob and I've told our other host Kathy who couldn't be here that that we're going to interview people that I'm not in the business to interview people that are just that are in WWE or AEW. I mean, if that happens, it happens. But I mean, we're here to interview people that our motto basically is once the fact that you step in that ring is enough for us to want to hear from you. So
yeah,
that's great. That's what we go. That's what we go by, and that's what we continue to do. And we like to hear from different people from all walks of life that are involved within the industry as well. So we wish you all the best. We hope to see you on TV real soon. I promise you, if I see you, I'm probably gonna have a very high-pitched scream, and I'm gonna call Rob and be like, Rob, turn on your TV. Look who's on TV.
Let's go.
Snap, that's Charly Avell. Yeah, bro, we just had him on the TV. We just had him on our show. So yeah, we definitely hope that happens for you as well, man.
I also got, for sure we got the student showcase coming up. Like they're gonna put it on YouTube. I don't know when the date is, but it will be on YouTube for you guys to watch the entire show. And you should watch out for everybody's match, but my match. But you watch out for it. It was a great show overall. So hope you guys will enjoy that. So it'll be out there.
Yeah, we'll definitely. We'll definitely be staying tuned as well. We'll if you guys have any links or anything, man, or any posters for that show, let us know. We like to let people around. We like to let wrestling fans know what's in their area or what's on YouTube, what they should watch. So I mean, the other day we shared the Iron Sheik documentary, which was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
It was very informative, and it showed us what happened to him post WWE and up to now. So we like to let fellow wrestling fans know what it is and what's up, what's out there to watch, what's in their area and so on. So if you have like a poster or anything as well too, we'll definitely promote it, let people in Georgia know, well, hey, this is what's going on in your area, focus on that, check that out, all that good stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah, I'm
for
sure.
I'll let you guys know what's going on, and hopefully And you guys share the link so you guys can share it to your followers and viewers in the near future.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and now turn it over to Rob. I know he has some questions to ask you as well. So Rob, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Sweet, thanks, Remy. So what's going on, Charlie, man? How's everything going your way?
Not much, man. Just here chilling. Enjoying my time with you guys, and just ready to have the rest of the day off.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So you're over there in Oregon, man. What's the weather like over there, man? Y'all got? Is it springtime yet? Is it rainy season over there? Do y'all get? Or is that Seattle? Yeah, that's Seattle.
So right now it's actually cloudy. It's kind of similar to the Georgia weather when I was there, except difference. Down there it's warm, and then up here it's cold. But it's cloudy. It's not raining right now, but we are in springtime. But here in Oregon, it rains whenever it wants to, or be sunny. So
That's right. That's right. I feel you on that, man. So, man, look, you were talking earlier, man, about your face paint and all that, man. Because when I was, doing some research and stuff, I was like, your face paint and your gear is badass looking. You know what I mean? So I have to ask, where'd you get the idea for, coming up with that and all, man? Because it kind of reminded me of Brandon Lee Crow type deal. Like you're gonna walk up to somebody, go into a motel and be like, Jesus walked into the innkeeper, told the innkeeper, give me 3 nails and put me up for the night. You know what I mean? That's why I thought you're gonna be like. So where'd that come from?
So the face paint idea, I didn't start doing it till after a match or two. I think I started doing it when I was teaming with Luther from Chaos Project. So see, I told him I had an idea of doing the face paint. He's like, go for it. I'm like, all right, sweet. I just had to think of what kind of face paint should I rock? I mean, we're bad guys, so I'm like, I gotta look evil or kind of creepy or whatever. So one of the first ones that people always tend to point out is the Joker. So that was one half of the ideas. I was like, okay, yeah. I saw the Dark Knight one, and then to further add to it was the new one that came out in 2019, and I watched those movies, watched the character closely, and try to get a vibe of what he is like. And then there was another recommendation was The Crow. So I heard about the movie, but I've never gave it a watch. And I guess I threw a little bit of shades because at the time my hair was all black. Now it's got the blonde in it, but I was all black, and when it's wet, it in short, they're kind of look like Brandon Lee or something like that. I'm like, have you seen The Crow? Someone recommended me to it. I'm like, no, I haven't. Well, I'll give it a watch. So I watched it. I was like, I dig the character. I was like, I like that. I like his vibes too. So I got the idea of mixing those two characters together and meshing it up, and just messed around with it when I'm in the ring or doing promos, videos, and all that. And I mixed it up with other gaming characters and such. There's so much to it, but mainly the main two that I put together was the Crow and the Joker.
Nice. So when you're doing your promos and stuff, is that kind of who you're channeling? Because I imagine your promo work, man, with that character, you're just scaring people. I imagine you saying stuff like, I will torture your body so that your soul learns to be humble. You know what I mean? Some cold-blooded stuff like that. You know what I mean? Is that what you be going for?
I mix it up with that, and also I speak Spanish too, so I talk. I guess there's times where it sounds like I'm sounding romantic, but I'm trying to make it more evil and sinister when I talk in Spanish. But the early days with the character that I've been messing with, I was just mainly speaking Spanish, and then once I made it to the Nightmare Factory, I started speaking more English and mixing it every now and then. And so there's that. Haven't done promos as of recent, but when I was there in training, we did promo class. So I brought it in brought the feeling, started bringing the feeling of it through each promo we did each week or every other week. But yeah, no, they get pretty crazy every now and then.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I love hearing some crazy stuff like that, man. Yeah, man. See, man, that's cool. Cutting promos in Spanish, man. I always wish I could speak Spanish, man. But I'm too country. I'd butcher the language. You know what I mean? It's like, I'd be like, no es muerta. No, that's more at the, you know what I mean? I can't roll my R's though. I'm like, you know, kind of Wookiee style, you know. But you know.
Right. No, I got you, man.
So you were also saying you did a little wrestling before you know, you joined the Nightmare Factory. So if like anybody here's watching or whatever, you have any advice, like what kind of training should you do before you know, step into that ring? You know, what kind of cardio, or should they do like weightlifting? You know, what would be the main thing? Would you say like cardio or something probably?
Cardio and obviously weightlifting to, you know, pick up the guys or women. But cardio, mainly core. You got to work them abs, and because it does, I feel like it involves more core and lifting. But yeah, the cardio, well, cardio's in-ring cardio and then cardio outside are, I feel like they're different. But just do like regular cardio, go run outside or like on the treadmill or something. And then as for lifting, you know, try to keep that upper body. Do a lot of upper body workouts, keep that core going, and legs too, because you're gonna be lifting with your legs. Don't lift with your back. You get hurt. I've had that from experience, but mainly a lot of cardio and weightlifting. I think cardio would be number one though, because you're in there and you're trying to be in the you're in speeding, but you want to slow down too in the ring, but also you don't know how long your matches will be or how long you'll be in there. So you got to keep that cardio going. And then the muscles, just lifting, just keep yourself looking good for TV, you know?
That's right. Because I did hear that, you know, you can be in, you know, great cardio shape, but you ain't in ring shape. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, once you get in the ring, man, it's totally different. Like I've heard people like, oh yeah, I've been in shape, but then first time I hit the ropes, you know, you know what I mean? And it took the breath out of me. I was like, no, I'm good. You know what I mean? Hold on. You know what I mean? I got to, you know, do something else.
No, it's different. Like, I think when I started back in 2018, I mean, I was okay for going in there, but like I could tell, like hitting the ropes was like, yeah, this is different. Like there weren't ropes, like they were cables, so it was like the cables, roping cables, whatever. WWE uses ropes, and WCW or AEW they use cables, so it was different. I've messed with either or, both of them, and I feel more comfortable with cables. Ropes is just like they feel a little loose, but they're still tight. But yeah, hitting the ropes it was just a different experience. I was like, oh, I did not know it was gonna be like this.
Now, did you do any wrestling or whatever in school before? You know, when you were in school or anything like that? Any sports or?
Actually, I didn't do sports.
Okay.
More just in school overall, I was more just involved with like my education. But in high school, they did have like a weightlifting program, so that's what I was doing to keep myself in shape and like learning how to do my lifts, how to bench press, how to squat, how to learn just the basics, and like because I know this is gonna be useful for me in the future if I'm trying to become a professional wrestler. So I kept that in mind, but yeah, I didn't really do sports, but I love basketball. I love playing basketball. I'm a Blazers fan for sure.
Nice.
I'll play football, like if let's say with the family or with cousins or friends. Like I'm down to play it. I understand a little bit of it, and baseball as well. I understand, and soccer too, and some other sports. So as long as I know the basics, I'm like fine, and I can do it. Like I'm pretty athletic.
That's right. Now I remember I joined the wrestling team when I was first able to for school. It was like 7th grade or whatever. And I remember I didn't know anything about amateur wrestling or whatever. So first day of practice, I walk in there. I'm like, where's the ropes at? Where's this ring at? Like, yeah, what are we doing? And man, they're like, no. And this is where I was like, oh man, I'm ready to hit sharpshooter on somebody. You know, I was like, I was all pumped and ready. I was like, man, my pop didn't even let me know, man. He could have told me, but like, no, this ain't what you do, man. Come on, idiot. Like, come on, man. And my Ed Lover voice was like, come on, son, you know. So I do got asked, man, since, you know, during this pandemic, all this good stuff, man, have you caught any, you know, good movies or TV shows or whatever? Because I always get stuck in that, you know, rut, man. I watch the same stuff over and over again. I'll be watching, like, you know, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you know, Archer, you know, stuff like that, you know, just, you know, like, I'm always trying to find something new, man.
As of late, I actually went back to watch the entire Dragon Ball series. Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Right now I'm on Dragon Ball Super. I'm watching. So what I went back. So I watched the original Dragon Ball. and then I went to Dragon Ball Z, a little bit of the original, but halfway or after the Cell saga, I went into the Buu saga, watching it through their short versions of the Dragon Ball Z Kai, the new and edited version. Okay. So I went through that, and then I started watching Super, and mainly I just rewatching it, and then like getting an understanding. Like watching these fights is similar to a wrestling match. You got your bad guy and your good guy. They're doing, good guy goes over a little bit, bad guy goes over, and then it's just like it's watching a wrestling match, and at the end, obviously Frieza loses or something like that. The bad guy loses. They'll get the win on one fight. Just watching it, and then also being at training and just like mixing the two, it's like I got a better understanding of how also my character, but how I can get in there and do my matches with other wrestlers. But yeah, I was watching the Dragon Ball series. And then recently, just for like nostalgia purposes and childhood, I was watching the Netflix added iCarly in there.
Nice.
Then Drake and Josh, I've been watching those like old reality shows that I can think of at the moment. As for movies, I actually got into watching the Crow, the Crow movies, like the ones that were released later. I try to watch a little bit, but it just doesn't hit the same as the original one. I released back in 93 or 92. I think that's that. Oh, and some show called Impractical Jokers. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. So I watched that and just like get a laugh after watching like action. I like to get like a laugh every now and then. But no, that's all the shows that I've been watching as of recent. Really, I've just been busy just working out and going to training when I was in Georgia. And my free time I'd either spend playing games or just watching TV shows as much as I can, but or watching wrestling because at the time the network was available, but now it's not or something.
Now, do you ever go Super Saiyan mode when you're in the ring? Have you gone Super Saiyan, man? Have your hands caught on fire? You know what I mean? The hair start, woof, when you're and your opponent's like, yeah, hold on.
There has been a couple times when I've actually entered my inner Super Saiyan, back in here when I was wrestling up in Oregon. Like I've done it a couple. Like I just do like a loud shout, and you just gotta be more animated out there. So then people go for it. They're like, "Yeah, well, I'm right behind you. I'm definitely gonna cheer for you or something."
That's right. Now I do gotta ask, man, how bad of a dad was Goku? Was Goku was the worst dad? Almost one of the worst dads ever.
Oh man. I mean, yeah, because he died and he abandoned his children. But hey, they had Piccolo, Gohan.
Yeah, Piccolo.
I feel like Vegeta is actually the better father out of both of them, out of the two. Yeah, Goku's a pretty bad dad, but one of the greatest fighters out there. I'm a Goku guy. But I agree with that. He wasn't a good dad.
Now, I got into anime, man, way back in the day. I remember going to school and, I watched Transformers and Voltron and stuff, but not like anime. I remember a kid coming to me going, man, have you ever seen this movie Akira? I'm like, no, it wasn't. He's telling me how violent and all this stuff. I'm like, a cartoon? Really? Yeah, right, dude. I remember he brought it in to tape in. I took it home and I was like, wow. Yeah, I need to get in on this Japanese anime stuff. Yeah, this is my stuff. I did get on this one anime, My Hero Academia. I'm kind of watching that, man. That's pretty good, man. I like that.
I've been hearing good things about that, and I haven't kept up with the anime since like probably 2016 or 17. After I got busy with like work and college and then wrestling, so I like laid off from it, and I'll watch it every now and then. But like I've heard about that show, and I heard very good things about it. It's super popular.
Oh yeah. Now, you also, man, I've seen on your Instagram and stuff, man, you're a good Star Wars, man. Yeah, pictures with the Wookiee and all that stuff, man. So, yeah, man, are you ready? Man, how you feel about the Mandalorian? Are you ready for the Obi-Wan show and all that good stuff?
Oh, man, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, like I said, I've been busy, but I'm trying to keep up with everything and just hearing things through social media. So let's see what happens on that. I mean, through those pictures, that was at a Blazers game, though. They had like a Star Wars night. They had like a Star Wars night. So I was like, I like Darth Vader. Vader's like, I don't know. I just like the bad guys, the bad characters. So I'm like, I got to get a picture with this dude. And then Chewbacca was there too, and like I think the stormtroopers were there. I can't remember much of it, so I took the opportunity to get a picture with them, and that was pretty nice. Chewbacca, the costume was just like huge. I was like, what the heck? Is that his actual size or movie size? I'm assuming it is because they try to But yeah, I mean the third, I like Star Wars. I mean, I followed the third one. I think it was Revenge of the Sith. That was the one that caught my attention. It was like the Anakin and Obi-Wan. I remember the fighting scene where they were in the lava or whatever. I can't remember what it was. It's been a while, but that was like when I watched, I was like, dude, this looks badass. I'm always into the action, and then their lightsabers. Always the red lightsaber, man. That's me. Favorite color.
Right. That's right. I like that one part in what was it, Rogue One? That one scene with Darth Vader in there, man, where they were showing, bridging it over from that one to the Princess Leia one, where they're like, and he just rolls up in there and he's just tearing everyone up. They're trying to shoot him. He's like, get out! No, force choke. Yeah, no, give me that. And it's like, oh man, yeah, Vader.
It's amazing how all the effects and how things have progressed with it. Like they're making it look so nice. I mean, I can't recall from the older movies, but like just watching it now, it's like, dude, this shit's amazing. It's great.
Oh yeah, man. So I do gotta say, man, have you ever seen like the Snyderverse, the Zack Snyderverse movie and all, man? And has anyone ever told you should play Aquaman in like the DC Arrowverse or anything? You know what I mean? Because I mean, Jason Momoa's got Aquaman on the big screen right now, but you know what I mean? I heard in the Arrowverse they do the Flash and all that stuff, man. I don't know if they got Aquaman in there yet.
I have not seen the movie. But I've heard good things about it as well. And like, it was recommended to me back when I was because it came out when I was in Georgia, so it was being talked throughout the class with some of the students. They're like, you gotta watch it. I'm like, I'll try. And I hear it's like 4 hours long. I mean, I'm sure it's worth it. But I was like, I'll give it a shot when I'm like free or like not working or anything like that when I'm back home, because I was just so busy with training. But I heard very good things about it. People like that version, I think, from compared to the other one that was released. So, but yeah, I've heard a lot of comparisons to the Jason Momoa. I had the beard for a bit back in church like a couple weeks ago, but I trimmed it off because it was getting a little annoying. But the first day I got there in Georgia, I went out shopping at a Walmart. And, I had a face mask on, but the hair color would give it away or something like that. And they're like, hey, is that Jason Momoa over there? I'm like, no, I'm just a regular person out here. I was like, I just got here and already somebody just pointed out. I was like, oh, no, you just look like him. I was like, okay, I see.
That's right. Be like, I'm not married one of the Cosby kids. You know what I mean? What was it? Lisa? Is it Lisa he's married to? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he's married to Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet. Yeah.
Denise. Yeah.
Denise. Yeah. Yeah. Sandra was the oldest one. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Man,
I'm going way back. Oh, I'm old. I'm an old man. You know what I mean? So I like watch all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm 39 years old. So yeah, growing up, that's what I watched. Married with Children, all that stuff. So.
I've seen that show. That's a good show.
Oh yeah, that stuff's crazy. So yeah, man, I gotta ask, what are your wrestling, short-term goals? Do you have any short-term goals for wrestling? All that stuff. Getting, but maybe starting a squad. Winning some singles belts. Traveling around.
My main goal right now is trying to travel around and get some bookings up here in the West Coast. Get myself out there, and then if possible, even like manage to go down further, go back to Georgia or something like that down there. New York would be a goal to see.
Nice.
Go over there and see if it's possible to get work up there. But right now, like short term, it's like more of trying to like hopefully when things open up after this pandemic, if it ever does, work some shows here in Oregon and then Washington and California. I just get a network with some wrestlers and see where I can go from there. Like long term goal, like future, I'd be down to be a trainer if possible.
Nice. That's awesome.
Open a school here in Oregon, or even like go work with somebody else elsewhere, like where we can develop the next crop of stars in the future. If I become successful, or hopefully gain like a good reputation and the respect of, he's a good trainer. He'll definitely put you on the map and help you out to give you your tools to get the basics and reach your goals. But yeah, short term is just trying to get some work around here, is getting my flow and momentum going, and see where it goes from there. And if a championship is there, I get one. Well, I'm definitely down for it.
That's right. That's right. So do you have another match lined up anytime soon?
Not at the moment. Everything seems pretty quiet. I haven't got any, so it's quiet for now. So right now I'm just keeping myself in shape and staying ready and coming up with more ideas of like what I want to do in the ring and all. And hopefully when things open up, I can manage to get into a wrestling ring and work on my craft and see what happens. So not really at the moment. So I'm just like chilling.
That's right. So being on the West Coast, man, growing up, man, I grew up in that grunge phase music stuff type deal, man, like Nirvana, Alice in Chains and all. So I got to ask, man, who do you prefer, Alice in Chains or Nirvana? Me personally, I'm an Alice in Chains guy, you know what I mean? But not that I have anything against Nirvana or anything, but I just like Alice in Chains, you know what I mean?
Oh man, I mean, I listen to more Nirvana, but I like the rough and edgy side of Alice in Chains. I like how rough they are when it comes to their instruments. And I think its name is Lane Staley. I like his voice. His voice is just.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. He has a great range for his vocals, but I'm more of Nirvana. I just like Nirvana. They go from like slow or like acoustic to like rough, edgy, somewhat similar to Alice in Chains. But I listen to more Nirvana. It's just I don't know. I just connect more with like listening to them, like Kurt Cobain and Dave Grohl with his Foo Fighters. But yeah, I'm more of a Nirvana guy.
Now, I did watch Nirvana way back in the day when MTV used to play actual music. They did this unplugged concert, man, and Nirvana did an unplugged concert up there, played all their songs, man. I was like, yeah, that was awesome, man. Like, yeah, just up there, you know, just no guitar, just nothing like, you know, no electric guitar, nothing. Just, you know, I was like, wow, that whole thing was awesome, man. I was like, yeah.
I watched it on YouTube or like clips of it or like certain songs and just listened to the whole album too. And it's just, it's amazing. And I've heard that album, like it reached to the top, like in top charts when it was released back in the early 90s, or I don't know when it was released, but it was a popular album from Nirvana, and it's huge within the fan base. And I agree with it because I've listened to it and it's amazing how they played with like I think it was the cello, they got the guitar, just the acoustic guitars, the acoustic drums. It was just the connection was there, and I loved it, every single bit.
It's like when Metallica played with the what was it, the orchestra, the San Francisco. Was it the San Francisco Orchestra?
I've heard of it. I didn't follow it, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too, man. You know, you mix metal and symphony. I was like, well, okay, all right, yeah, I didn't know that could happen.
Right?
Like when Linkin Park and Jay-Z came together, it was like, all right, you know what I mean, you know. And, man, it's like, man, it was pretty good. Sometimes you might be like, man, it might be like a bologna and orange juice, but you know, they were good, man. It was like peanut butter and jelly, you know. So
that's also the chemistry is there. It's like chemistry is there. It's just a great mix. As long as the artists work together and make it work, it's just gonna sound amazing.
That's right. Now, before I let you go and pass it on back to Remy, man, I gotta ask, man, do you have any, you know, funny backstage road stories or maybe funny stories that happened during training? I mean, you can change your name to protect the innocent if you need to.
Dude, you're trying to get me all to remember. I'm trying to remember. I mean, not that I can think of on the spot at the moment.
Okay.
So I can't think of much on the spot. I mean, we did get to hang out outside of like training, even though we're trying to, you know, because of COVID going on, but things down in Georgia were open. But we did get get-togethers every now and then and got to hang out. There's pretty funny people down there too, like very good, goofy, and I think there was a class clown on there every now and then, but not that I can think of on the spot.
Was Nasty Leroy there?
Yes. Oh, yeah, my God.
Nasty Leroy. That's my boy. We love Nasty. We had him on before. Yeah, he's awesome.
I like watching his matches, man. It's just it's different compared to other matches, but he, like, people that work with him or him, just like it just works. It's great. Because there's like after our classes, there's the night class, and they do their matches there, and I'm just watching him. And I watched his match on YouTube with QT, and I was like, yo, That was fun. I liked it. I told him like, hey man, I saw your match against QT on I think it was one of those One Fall Factory or Power Factory, and I'm like, dude, that match was great. Like I enjoyed every second of it. And he's like, yeah, dude, it was like I liked it. It was like QT would work with me. It's like, I just like talking to him nasty.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. That dude's awesome. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I want to say before I pass it on back to Remy, man, I want to say, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on, chatting with us, man. It was a blast to have you on, man. Get to talk about everything from wrestling to Nirvana, Alice in Chains, and everything in between, man. It was awesome.
No, thank you. It's awesome having you guys having me on here.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. I hope all the positive things happen to you and your family and all that good stuff, and hopefully we're seeing you on TV one day, man.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Charly, I gotta say, it was a pleasure, like actually having you on the show. We really and truly do appreciate it. So my next question is, where can fans find you on social media if they want to find out when your next appearances are, or if they want to purchase merchandise? And where can bookers and promoters find you on social media if they want to have you on their shows?
So at the moment, right now, you can find me on Twitter at Real Charly Avell, at Real Charly Avell on Twitter. Instagram, you can just find me at Charly Avell. And then on Facebook, I have my Facebook is just Charly Avell. So all the same, except the Twitter part. It's just adding the real part. But yeah, the way I typed it, CharlyAvell. That's it. So you'll find me anywhere. You can even Google me and you'll probably find me on there.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to seeing more of you, in the big time. We hope you make it there. Face paint and all. Then we're like, yeah, we just had that guy on the show. He's really cool and whatnot. But really, truly do hope it happens. So with that being said, and to those of you, and like I said, go back and tell the rest of your class, that second class, that we'll be looking for them to have them on the show. So don't go too far. Dean Hiram, if you're listening, we coming for you too, brother. Diamond Sheik, we got you next week. And I don't know if I just want to thank all those that actually listen to us live right now. Shout out to Jonathan Cogan, Chase Essig, and Jet Day. Jet Day, I've been seeing you around a lot. You remind me of Joey Janela. We're going to have to talk to you. No, you remind me. People say I can't write this up. I'm waiting for. There's a guy named Donnie Janela. I don't know if you ran into him. He's down there in Georgia. Mm-hmm. I've seen him on AEW Dark once. And now there's this guy named Jet Dade. I'm just saying, there's something that the writers could mess with him and Joey Janela. There's something there. I'm just saying. I mean, but yeah, I get Jet Dade every now and then.
Definitely try to get Jet Dade on the show, man.
Hey, Jet Dade, we coming for you too, brother. Don't go too far. Hey, and Kathy's there. Welcome aboard, Kathy. But we just want to thank everybody that tuned in live tonight. We really and truly today. Well, we really and truly do appreciate you. And with that being said, Rob, where can fans find you on social media if they want to be on our show, if they want to purchase merchandise? Where can wrestlers and promoters find you on social media as well?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rob_Base82, Facebook Rob Base, YouTube Rob Base.
And if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything interesting to say these days, but who knows, you might get lucky. You can find me on Twitter at BRemyBlue. You can find our podcast on Twitter at Ringside Society. You can also find our podcast on Instagram at Ringside Society. And we also have a Facebook group. If you guess the name is Ringside Society, you guessed it correctly. But don't just guess it. Follow us. Join our group. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. And we also have a YouTube page. Subscribe to this YouTube page because we have a lot more videos coming where this one came from. So with that being said, and I always keep forgetting, we also have a Teespring store as well. We have, several different styles of merch. We have our first ever shirt, which features our current logo, which is the cool blue yin yang sign you see over there. Oh, it's that way. It's that way. And then we have our St. Valentine's Day apparel and our St. Patrick's Day apparel and our new flag T-shirt as well. So definitely, check out our merch, cop it, support us. Every single cent we get from that merch goes back into running this podcast. It definitely doesn't go in our pockets. So with that being said, we already thank those that listen to us live. To those of you that are going to listen to us later on, thank you in advance. And to those of you that Haters can't stand us. Really, truly wish we take our merch and our YouTube channel and everything else and go away. Well, we're sorry you feel that way, but we ain't going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we here at Ringside Society and are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hey, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the graduating second class of the Nightmare Factory over there in Georgia, who is doing great things, and our guest, Charly Avell. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, and we will be back later on this week with another amazing episode. But until then, during this pandemic, stay healthy, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.